Make a moose sound. A moose!
We listen to metal until we are young.
Oh, it's a bit of a hot mess, this interview, isn't it? Salut, moi c'est Gia, coach d'anglais. Aujourd'hui, on va analyser l'anglais de Mcfly et Carlito pour vous aider à vous améliorer en anglais et éviter de faire les mêmes fautes qu'eux. Restez bien jusqu'à la fin pour connaître leurs notes sur 20. Est-ce qu'il y en a un qui est meilleur que l'autre? On va voir ça. Actually, the only thing I've seen from these guys in English is that song about Brian.
This is the Brian story.
So I don't really know what their English level is, but today they are chatting with Will Ramos, who is a lead singer or screamer of apparently quite a famous metal band. So they're probably going to be making an effort to communicate clearly. Let's see how it goes and let's see if there's anything that comes up that we can learn from.
Will, thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
Pour bien le résumer très simplement, aujourd'hui nous allons tenter d'apprendre le cri métal. Vous allez voir, il y en a plusieurs sortes, il y a une grande famille des cris, mais aujourd'hui c'est le meilleur pour nous apprendre ça.
That's right, Will is a famous singer of a very famous band
Oh yes.
called Lorna Shore.
So they're kind of switching back and forth, I guess, between French and English. Let's see how this is going to go, how they're going to kind of integrate Will into that without isolating him too much.
Oh, you guys got the fucking One Piece thing. Who put that there?
He doesn't want to talk about One Piece.
What's your problem?
Explique
One
ton
Piece.
seum de One Piece en anglais.
The story, I don't have nothing against the story and the
Il
personnage and
explique
everything.
Will Ramos.
But it's kind of, you know, the hat.
He
and the
doesn't
hat.
like the
the
hype.
fucking hat.
The
Voilà, je
hype.
le dis.
Oh, I'm gonna put it!
That's a classic.
All right, so we've already got a little bit to unpack here. So they're talking about the anime One Piece. But I think they're both doing a good job. They're already starting to talk about their opinions. Carlito, he uses a really nice vocabulary word. He doesn't like the hype. I think that's a perfect way to describe it. The hype for One Piece. Something here I heard from Mcfly. He said,
I don't have nothing against the story.
I don't have nothing against the story. Careful here, I don't have anything against the story. And the personnage,
And the personnage,
the characters.
it's kind of, you know,
We got it. Okay, maybe he could say it's kind of annoying. It might just be that, you know, they've just started the interview. And sometimes when we just start speaking a language, we need to warm up a little bit and the words come more quickly. Yeah, but he was struggling there to find the right word.
Will, I gotta show you something, Will.
No, please don't do that.
It's a fan of ours. He did that to us.
Wow, okay, so it's that giant sword from One Piece. Carlito, he said, a fan, he did that to us. Il nous a fait ça, like faire un cadeau. No, we cannot say that. We need to really use a verb that shows us that something has been given. So we could say a fan gave that to us, he made it for us, or a fan gifted that to us. He didn't do it to ya. Although, personally, I would have used this or it here because he is holding the gift in his hands.
A fan made this?
Yeah.
Tell him I need one.
Lena is gonna handle this for you.
Please.
Okay?
Help me out. I need this.
Again, I heard another nice vocabulary word from Carlito. He said,
Lena is gonna handle this for you.
she's gonna handle it for you. I really like that verb, that she'll handle it. She'll take care of it for you.
You played in France already? In
Oh,
your
yes.
life? How is the crowd in France?
Always good.
Good?
Always good. Yeah.
Good is not enough. It's just good.
Great. Great.
Carlito, you can see that he's engaging in a little bit of banter, right? He says, what? Just good? Good's not enough. He's relaxed enough to joke around. I love that. Okay.
Can you name drop good vocalist you like in metal?
Sleep token, #1. Great.
Okay, another, I feel like Carlito, he's like dropping a lot of vocabulary bombs. He's got some nice vocabulary.
Can you name drop?
Can you name drop a good vocalist you like in metal? Love that.
We listen to metal until we are young. And we love metal.
Mcfly's obviously, he's made a bit of a mistake with this sentence. Carlito's over there laughing. He's pulled a little face, but he didn't help his friend, did he? He's just laughing. So what we heard was, we listen metal until we are young. How can we correct this sentence? He should have said, we've been listening to metal since we were young. We totally understood him. Will completely understood him. But I think this is a really good example of how even if you do have native speaking friends and you get a lot of conversation practice in, those friends aren't necessarily going to correct you all the time. But at the same time, it is so important to get that feedback and those corrections if you want to improve. Which is why I'm really happy to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, Lingoda. Lingoda is an online language school which connects learners to qualified native or native level teachers. I know firsthand just how effective this method is because Lingoda is the main reason why I have a conversational level in Spanish. The easiest way to get started with Lingoda is with a Lingoda Flex plan, which is very flexible. You can book lessons 24/7. You can choose between either one-on-one or small group classes of up to 5 students, where there's so much time to speak and receive personalized corrections and feedback. And you can also choose to either follow the curriculum step by step, which is what I personally do, or you're also free to choose lessons based on your interests or maybe specific points that you want to work on. All of this means that with Lingoda, it's so easy to tailor your learning experience to suit your own personal lifestyle and needs. Now is the perfect time to get started with Lingoda because they are running their May spring sale. Click the link in the description and use my code GIA2025 to receive up to 35% off your Lingoda Flex plan. But don't wait too long because this offer is only valid until the 2nd of June.
A lot of metal nowadays is like, if you want to sing, you have to be like,
Oui.
and like nobody could do that. And but then this guy brings in this whole nother world of singing.
Such a gold nugget in this part here. I love this. I don't know if anyone else heard it here, but Will said,
Whole nother.
a whole nother. This is really not a word, but this is something so commonly used by native speakers. It's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother question. Essentially, it's kind of like a smush up between, well, we've got 2 choices, a whole other situation, or another. But we kind of mix them together to make a whole nother. Yeah, every time I hear it, it makes me smile because it's kind of like such an absurd word, but it's super common. A lot of native speakers use it, so it's one of those things of like correct language versus what people say, and people use this a lot.
He plays drum, he's very good at drum.
Thank you,
I play
man.
guitar and I sing.
He's very good in
But we
guitar.
cannot scream.
We had 2 conflicting sentences here. Mcfly said he's very good at drums. Careful here, he plays the drums or drums. Carlito said that Mcfly is very good in guitar. So which one is it? Is it be good at something or good in something? Of course, in English, it's the one that you probably don't think it is. So it's to be good at something, right? So we can say, Carlito, he's really good at drums. Mcfly, he's really good at guitar. So Mcfly had this one. For those of you at home who were thinking Carlito's gonna get the better grade, well, maybe not. I don't know, we'll have to wait. Don't leave, all right.
You hear things like knocked loose. You're like, this guy doesn't sound anything like anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right,
That just, it works for him. He found the way
C'est vrai
that
qu'il a
works.
une voix très étrange.
I'm finding like this interaction kind of weird, you know? Will speaking English and then Carlito, he's like, ah ouais, c'est vrai, il a une voix très étrange. I guess he's speaking to Mcfly, but it's kind of weird, right? What are people saying? C'est vraiment une super vidéo. En revanche, la prochaine fois, s'il vous plaît, parlez en anglais. Ça donne l'impression d'exclure l'invité. Yeah, I kind of have the same impression actually, that there's a lot of like switching back and forth, and you can definitely see on Will's face, he's a bit lost. And yeah, maybe they did stop and explain things to him and they cut that out in the edit, but it's a little bit awkward. Ça m'insupporte vraiment de vous entendre parler en anglais, avec tout le respect. I also get comments like this, so that's why I'm laughing. C'est moi où leur anglais s'est vachement amélioré. Je veux dire, pas l'accent, ok, mais les mots leur viennent plus simplement. I've never seen them speak before, so I don't know, guys, do you agree? Has anyone seen them speak before? Have they improved? All right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the video.
We're doing animal sounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, I love it. Coin, coin.
We are gonna do.
Coin. I was doing the duck.
That's a duck?
Yeah, that's a bad duck.
Oh shit. So this is where this is about to get crazy because I just realized different languages have different how you think an animal sounds.
Yes.
I love this topic. Yes, every language has their own idea for the way that an animal sounds, both the verb and also the onomatopoeia. For example, like in English, we say a dog barks, but the sounds, the onomatopoeia is woof woof. Let's see where this is going.
Coq, comment on dit a coq? Bah, no, not a coq.
A chicken?
How does a cock sound?
Yeah, no.
We say,
No, in French, it's cocorico. Cocorico. Pour écrire le bruit du coq, en français, on a écrit cocorico pour le même bruit.
Oui.
Parce que l'anglais français de coq, il fait le même bruit. Et ben en français, on a écrit cocorico, en anglais, ils ont écrit cock-a-doodle. C'est vrai ou pas?
He almost got it, cock-a-doodle. Close. Yes, le coq. How do we say le coq in English? You can say a cock. For example, we have cockfighting, totally illegal. But in general, yeah, you probably know that cock also has a different meaning in English. So we would normally refer to this male form of the animal as a rooster. And yes, Mcfly, he almost had it. For some reason in English, we think the rooster says cock-a-doodle-doo. Now, I don't know that roosters are able to make a D sound. So, you know, I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah, I have to say, I think cocorico is... Actually, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Cock-a-doodle-doo. On exagère un peu, je pense.
And the point of this is basically when you're learning how to scream, when you want to learn something new, the only way to get there, because the idea is that you don't know what you're looking for inside because you don't know where it is.
Exactly.
So if I'm like, do this with your voice, you're gonna be like, I don't know what the hell that is. And that's why one of the things that we talk about is practice trying something new.
I really love that. It's so true that, I mean, in this case, Will's trying to teach them to go from singing to doing a death metal scream. But it's true that even like when you speak a new language, you don't even know what you're looking for. You know, like us English speakers, we go to a French class, the French teacher's like, just say, and we're like, what's that? You have no idea even like where to make that sound. So it takes practice and it takes time to even find that place in the mouth or in the throat. So for French speakers, I suppose the same thing, like with the TH sound, it might be difficult to even find where that is. So I really like this analogy from Will. Very good. All right, what other animal sounds do we have here?
All right, for instance, make a moose sound. A moose!
That's a moose!
Moose!
So here, Will, he said, make a moose sound. And I think that Carlito, he heard moose and he thought M-O-U-S-E, moose. Unfortunately, in English, this O-U sound, sometimes it's oo, very often it's ow, like sound, round, house, mouse. Yeah, a mouse is O-U, moose, M-O-O-S-E. It's the an élan, makes a very different sound to a mouse. Oh, that's so cute though. Just imagine a moose going All right, so they've kind of practiced some techniques for screaming and now they're going to try and practice with a song.
But first we need lyrics. I can ask to the IA. I can ask to Gemini to write us some lyrics from like metalcore.
Ouais, comme ça, rapidement.
Cool, he's going to use artificial intelligence to create some lyrics. He said...
I can ask to the IA.
Now, careful here, IA, it means nothing. AI, so when we talk about artificial intelligence, we can say AI. So I can ask AI. We don't need to ask to. I can ask AI to write the lyrics.
In this life of pain, I'm fading away. My spirit is broken.
You nailed it. You nailed it, man.
Thank you.
I feel like we got one last vocabulary bomb from Carlito here. You nailed it. I love that one. Like the nail went right in the perfect hole. He did. He's very good. He's obviously a professional.
Yeah,
Merci,
me too.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting d'apprendre ça.
It was very interesting d'apprendre ça. Yeah, we've got this classic like franglais. It's a bit of a hot mess, this interview, isn't it? But they've done a good job. I love it. I know people are going to say in the comments,
We are in France. We speak French.
I know, but you know, they invited him on and he doesn't speak French, so you know, be nice.
So we wish you the best to you and your band, Lorna Shore.
Thank you.
You kiss Austin from me, okay?
All right, no problem. I got you.
Yeah.
He loves kisses.
Yeah.
Okay. What's happened here? Here we've had just a perfect cultural misunderstanding. So, in French, we love to faire la bise. Not me personally, but in general, it's a thing. You know, it's normal, it's polite to say to someone, faire un bisou à quelqu'un pour moi. In English, you don't do that. You don't say, kiss Brian for me. No, it's weird. So if you want to avoid maybe an awkward moment, you could simply say hi to Rachel for me. Tell Brian I said hi. Send my love to Jessica. Save your kisses for your countrymen. You can keep those kisses in France. Yeah, in Anglo-Saxon culture, it's just not a thing. We don't kiss one another like that. So So it's time for my final analysis. We've got two people, so let's start with Mcfly. And what I really like about Mcfly's English is that even though he's definitely missing some vocabulary, he has trouble with more complex structures, he definitely doesn't shy away from trying to express himself. He does find a way to sort of say what he wants to say, or at least to show it with his expressions and with his actions. So I think that he did actually do quite a good job at expressing what he wanted to say. But yeah, he clearly doesn't have a super high level. For example, he had trouble talking about the past or using quite a few French words. For example, he used IA instead of AI. What about Carlito? So what I really loved about his English is that he really surprised me with some of the vocabulary words that he used. I think he must really consume a lot of content. He said, oh, he doesn't like the hype. You nailed it. Can you name drop someone? I didn't really expect some of that vocabulary, and that really impressed me. But at the same time, he did struggle with some slightly more advanced structures. For example, saying a fan did this to us, talking about a gift that was gifted. This misunderstanding of moose versus mouse. And of course, this little cultural misunderstanding. So for my final grades, Mcfly gets a 10 out of 20. I would give Carlito a 13 out of 20. But all in all, they hung out with this native English speaker for a pretty long period of time. Everything went well, everyone had fun, no one got offended. What more could you ask for? I have summarized everything that I've discussed here today in a free PDF. You can download it by clicking the link in the description. There's also a little quiz. It's fun, it's free, it's good, it's funky. Go and get it. I'll see you again soon. Bye.